Crosswatchers. Welcome to your timeless romantic soulmate contract read. I am your reader, Mark Angelo, Lyons, Mal for short. Professional witch, professional intuitive, president of Drawing the Circle Productions since 1998, author of Words of Grace from a Professional Witch. It is available on Kindle. There's a link in the description box, and there's also a link to my Patreon, patreon.com/Drawing the Circle. I love it so much. Doing a lot of cool stuff over there. At the time of this timeless recording, we've got 8 different levels of subscribers. All of my subscribers, regardless of level of subscription, get some cool stuff. Just for starters, they get all the extended readings, all the part 2s to the part 1s. Like for this reading, you can pay per view on VIMEO on demand if you like, and I love it when people do. But all of my subscribers, starting with Seeker at $3 all the way up to God Goddess at $20 a month, get all of those, as well as the daily check-ins, an unlisted YouTube live stream link that allows me to chat with, and my patrons to chat back with me every morning, talking about the day's astrological weather, the magical applications, the spiritual implications of said astrological weather, always ending with a little prayer, a little blessing, a little something, something to send us on our way, and it is my favorite way to start the day, and I know it rhymes, because I love it there so much. So if you are looking for a bit of a deeper dive, all of the extendeds, past, present, and future, there's a lot of cool stuff going on there. Exclusive Zoom recorded workshops just for, different levels, depending on what level you subscribe at, but we're having a field day, so if you want the deeper dive, more magic, more miracles, more mysticism, more Mal, come Patreon on Patreon, because we're having a field day with the Archangel of Lyons, Mark Angelo Lyons. But you could just call me Mal. Let's get down to work. I know everybody loves these reads. They are the longest ones, and they are extendeds. The Romantic Soulmate contract reads, because everybody pretty much wants to know about romance, except some people, and everybody's going to find their way through. There is a part 2, as I said, an extended version of this. It has a lot more cards. I wrote it down until I remember it correctly. In part 1 here on YouTube, you will get 16 cards on the table, and in the extended at least 21. And one of those cards will be from what I call the wild deck. Before each reading for the extended, I sit and I look at all the other decks. They say, who wants to be the wild deck, to kind of make it a little bit more fine-tuned for each sign. And it's pretty cool. Look, there's a lot of explanation to what a soulmate is, a lot of, different definitions over the centuries, but there are links in the description box, a whole section going into that if you want to check it out. I even did a preface video, to preface these reads, explaining why I do it and all of that, just to get that out of the way and save time. But essentially, we all have soulmate and twin flame contracts. The bottom line of a soulmate contract is vibrationally, or sometimes very literally, and both can be true, you help each other heal. It doesn't matter, parent, child, best friend, whatever. But the romantic soulmate contracts are the hardest, and the ones that we've been working on for a very long time on this planet, reincarnating over and over and over again. So I was raised by a lawyer. My mother divorced my father and married her divorce lawyer when I was 5. So, raised in a litigious environment. I know how to read a contract for the most part. So we're going to have party number 1 over here. We're going to have party number 2 over there. It is a contract read. There will be a center lane developing as well. The state of the contract. I do these readings for clients all the time, but not usually to the scale with every deck I have within reach, because it's a lot of fun for me to do these. But you're going to have to kind of feel out which one you are, right, in this. So it is a general read. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't. Check your other signs. There are chakras involved. We've got a lot of oracles in part 2. The Lover's Oracle, Divine Animals Oracle, Blue Angel Oracle, Kuan Yin Oracle, Whispers of Ganesh Oracle, Journey of Love Oracle, the Archangel Fire Oracle, and the Blessed Bee, just to name some of them, and then a wild deck on there somewhere. Look, both feet on the floor if you can. Focus on your breath, if you will. Check your other signs and all of that, because you might have more than one romantic interest going on. And certainly, cross-watchers, you are welcome here, because it's going to show you these readings of what you need to do to help the other one heal, and vice versa. Yeah. So both feet on the floor if you can. Focus on your breath if you will. I will do my best to get you the clarity, guidance, and grace, because the more of us who are manifesting after all of these millennia of romantic entanglements, oh, I like that, toxic entanglements, karmic debts, betrayal, abuse, neglect, codependence, and loss, well, you know, we're immortal souls, so it doesn't kill us, it just makes us stronger. But let's see if we can get some more of that vibe on this planet, because I just have the suspicion that the more happy, healthy, wealthy, wise, romantic, sexual contracts there are manifesting in gold rather than lead, healthy rather than toxic, we're going to be way too busy feeling good to hurt each other on this planet. You feeling me, right? Now your romantic relationships just became planetary healing a means to, yeah? So the shift from explanation, I know there's a lot of explanation. We got new people coming to the channel all the time. But the shift from explanation to divination happens in the still point. So both feet on the floor if you can. Watch this. Please take a nice deep breath. It's my ultimate magic trick. Still point. And here we go, using the Caroline Myss archetype cards. I call upon the collective pantheons of the divine. For the Aries collective sun, moon, rising, Venus signs, and cross watchers watching this video and receiving this reading, I need the dominant chakra and the 8th chakra, party number 1, party number 2, and state of the contract. It will be the first card we turn over in the extended reading. So please, party number 1, what's the dominant 8th chakra? The soul power, being healed, alchemized from shadow to light, lead to gold, pain to peace, toxic to healthy. Lead having 3 more atoms than gold that cannot be created or destroyed, only changed or transformed, released in this timeless, happy, healthy, wealthy, wise, intimate, sexual, satisfying soulmate contract, who's party number 2, same thing, 8th chakra, and I promise I will not look at it until I hit record for the extended state of the contract read. So party number 1, party number 2, and what they're sharing, what the clause of the contract, the scene in the movie, the chapter in the book, you kind of get the idea, the track on the album, where they are in this timeless romantic read. Let's see who we got here. Ooh, we got a king and an athlete. I'm in. Sounds like fun. Now, these are 2 different families of archetype. Doesn't really matter which side they're on here. But the king is the masculine family of archetype. There are 9 different families. The athlete is the creative family, and because athletes sort of like create their bodies and their goals and stuff like that, but creating a career, creating longevity, strength, all that. So written on the card is the shadow attribute at the bottom and the light attribute on the top, and think of that as lead at the bottom, gold, and somewhere we are all in a percentage scale, right? Here, from lead to gold, toxic to healthy, false love to true love, right? There's all sorts of ways. Fear to love is really the Course in Miracles point of view on that. So I'm going to read you these. Let's start with the king. It's good to be the king, but not so much the shadow king. Excessive feelings of entitlement, rulership without restraint. I'm just going to say Aries is the king of wands in the tarot, so this could be you. And it's not about gender. It is not about gender. It is not about gender. It is about symbolic archetypal soul power. And as toxic as the lead ever is as brilliant as the light always is. In an archetype, the light attribute, enlightened, benevolent leadership, benefiting those in your charge, right? To be a blessing on those in your charge, right? This could be a boss, right? But it is definitely a power that has gone through a lot of struggles over the past couple of centuries, monarchies, if you've been watching. But of course, the king of the castle, the king of the family, the CEO. Now, I know that's masculine, gendered in the outside world, but archetypally, I know plenty of women who hold the king archetype and a lot of men who hold the queen. So, you know, it's not all about gender preference reference and, you know, drag and all of that, but drag queen obviously is part of that archetype of the queen, but so is drag king, by the way. Right? There's a certain rulership here. I like that. As soul power, we need more healthy kings on the planet, not necessarily monarchs, if you get me. The athlete, however, I am very familiar with the athlete archetype. The shadow attribute, misuse of athletic ability for selfish ends. It's an interesting take on that. False sense of invulnerability and entitlement. Now, I mean, honestly, if you just go literal athlete, you see it. You see it in the news. Look back in history. There's always been some kind of scandal, something going on in that way. Not the majority, obviously, but, you know, evolution. But catch the light, the gold, dedication to transcending physical limits, including handicaps. And by the way, I think that's not just physical handicaps in a romantic situation. It could also be emotional handicaps, right? The heart and all of that. It is a muscle after all. Development of personal willpower. Think third chakra, spit, swallow, or chew. Choices and decisions. And strength of spirit, right? To develop your spirit. To set goals and go for them, right? And create as a result. So, for Cardinal Fire, creative fire, Aries, this is both of these. I could see this being in both, but that's just the beginning. See you later, card number 3. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take 5 Daughters of the Moon Tarot and put it down over on this side. And we're going to take 5 Mythic Tarot, put it on this side, to look at the different chakras going on here. We're going to use an element spread, fire, earth, air, water, and spirit, to see where they are in the contract. Same here, but this is going to be the heart, throat, third eye, crown. The chakras, the inside, the feminine, hence the Daughters of the Moon Tarot, circular cards, right, for what's going on. Because the archetypes send down the codes to the other chakras, shifting what you attract and repel so that you will eventually, this lifetime, maybe next, do the alchemy, right? Fulfill your contracts here, not just in this soul contract between the two of you, but your own sacred contract of what you came in to heal and do in this life. So, I love doing this. Actually, we're going to get 10 of them. 5 this side, 5 this side. We're going to get them all face down, and then we're going to flip them one at a time. This do take a bit. Please take a nice deep breath. Still point. Okay, here we go. I call upon my goddesses of fire. Sign of Aries. Powers of the South. Beloved goddesses of cardinal fire, please. 5 cards, one at a time, element spread, face down for the for party number 1 with the king archetype in this Aries collective. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, sign, and cross watcher. Happy, healthy, wealthy, wise, intimate, sexual, satisfying soulmate contract. What is their element of fire? What they yearn for, what they burn for, what their hearts desire. What is their element of earth? The fuel to feed the fire, to ground and manifest their heart's desire. What is their element of air? What they're thinking about this stuff, this contract. What they're feeling, their element of water. What's going on there? Is that just one card? Yeah, it is. And the card of spirit, the point of view of the soul, who incarnated to play the role of party number 1 with the king archetype in this timeless romantic soulmate read. Let's get these on the table. Lower 3 chakras, masculine energy, outside looking in at the one with the athlete archetype, or them from the inside looking out at people, places, and things. Lower 3 chakra dynamics are about relationships in the physical world, hence why I'm doing them. In a romantic soulmate read, please take a nice deep breath. These are flying. Still point. This feels different. As I call upon my gods of fire, the sign of Aries, powers of the South, please, beloved gods of cardinal fire, 5 cards in clarity, element spread, face down. For party number 2 with the athlete archetype in the 8th, in this Aries collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign, and cross watcher, happy, healthy, wealthy, wise, intimate, sexual, satisfying soulmate contract. What is party number 2's element of fire? What they yearn for, what they burn for, what their hearts desire. What is their element of earth? The fuel to feed the fire to ground and manifest their heart's desire. What is their element of air? What they're thinking about this. What is their element of water? what they're feeling about this. These are coming out rapid fire. And what is the card of spirit, the point of view or the voice of the soul that incarnated to play the role of party number 2 with the athlete archetype in this happy, healthy, wealthy, wise, intimate, sexual, satisfying soulmate contract read. Let's flip. Element of fire for party number 1 is 8 of Pentacles, appraisal. Oh, and what they want, the athlete, is the Hierophant. Let's deal with the Hierophant first. When it's a major arcana card, it's the whole chakric zone. So this is all lower 3 chakras. Now this is Chiron, the wounded healer, which plays a role in a lot of other different mythologies, right? So this is about often a disciplined, he's a teacher, right? The high priest, it would be the Hierophant. Levels, no one's born a high priest, except maybe the Dalai Lama, but he had to go through a process too, right? But really, this can also be about commitment. Like, they want the formalization, they want this to move forward. There are levels here, but there are levels of learning. This could be a teacher, this could be, a leader in a way, but what the athlete really, really wants here in this element of fire is something strong and stable and healing, right? Something that's at least healthy to start with. And over here, what party number 1 wants is, on the inside, really appraisal. They want to sit back and look at their road, where they've been, right? 7 of Pentacles, before you buckle down and do the 8 of Pentacles and do the work on the inside. Earth on the inside, the way I read, is about wisdom gained. So it's kind of like, let me look at where I've been, look at what I've learned. If these two know each other, it could be what they've learned from this, right? But maybe they've just met, or maybe have not met yet. That's a general read. What's the element of Earth? Okay, on this side we have got a court card on the inner, or first court card of the spread. The Maiden of Pentacles, that would be the Knight of Pentacles in traditional tarot. Lada, the Virgo card. So again, when it's Earth on the inner, it is about wisdom. 6th house dynamic, Virgo, occupation and health, because those two things interact with each other and can be causes and effects for each other, because what you're occupied with affects your health and your healing, and your health affects what you're occupied with. Mutable Earth. So there, when it's a court card on the inside, certainly if you have any planets in Virgo, take a look. There could be a clue there for you. But this can also about being that, slow it down, right? Virgo, sift, sort, shift, feel it out, heal, and allow the wisdom to shift and move. It's also very much an innocent side. I mean, the Virgo means essentially unowned, virgin land, right? Has never been built on, or maybe no one's ever lived on it. Like, that's real virgin land, virgin olive oil, right? It's pure. But there's also a strong thing with the king there for them to, kind of mind their P's and Q's to ground this, to be inside, to be really, really clear about what they're occupied with. And of course, the servants of the zodiac. Now, I do believe it's in the Tao Te Ching. To rule is to serve. I'm pretty sure that's the Tao Te Ching, but that was like a good 30 years ago, so I might be wrong. Please don't cancel me. Over here, though, we got the 3 of Cups. The element of Earth for the athlete is bond, right? There could very much be an intuitive, empathic bond between these two, as well as it could just be very friendship. It's like, enjoy the friendship phase. But, however, in the Mythic Tarot, this is the wedding of Eros and Psyche. Now, I'm not sure, actually, that I put the link to the video to the myth of Eros and Psyche, a video that I found on YouTube that's like a comic book sort of panel by panel telling of the story, and it really does a very, very good job. So she married him without seeing his face, because he didn't want her to see his face, because he's Eros, son of Aphrodite, and Aries, I believe, god of love, god of erotic love. Everybody falls in love with him. He wanted her to love him for him, right? So a really good thing. Like, when you first meet each other, right, they're both looking in the same direction. She can't see his face. He fell in love with her because he pricked one of his fingers on one of his golden arrows. I guess it's an occupational hazard. Got to watch out for that. Wear gloves. But then certainly the Three of Cups here, though it is a wedding card, this feels really, really good. Rarely is the Three of Cups a womp womp card. And in the element of earth, this is kind of like, well, have fun. Party a little bit, right? Now, this Virgo might be a little reserved on the inner, right? He's like, well, okay, we'll slow this down. We'll take this. I like this. Let's occupy ourselves with this in a healthy way. But on the outside, the athlete might be like, hey, you want to go see a movie? Want to go climb a mountain or something? want to go work out or something? Element of air. Okay. Okay. So, for party number 1 with the King archetype, we've got victory. The Seven of Flames, I know victory in traditional tarot is the 6, but not in this deck. Women galloping on horseback, juggling fireballs. They are literally galloping on these horses on cooling lava, and the lava is moving in the same direction they are, right? So not only is there this very third chakra, this king wants to do it. Like, what are they thinking about? They're like, let's do this. Let's jump some hurdles. Let's gallop. I want to gallop in the flow of what's going on behind the scenes or under, like backstage of the universe, right? Look, the choices that this one makes, they are about victory, but with the king, depending on where they are, let's say, between lead and gold, is it victory at all costs? You see what I mean? Right? Excessive feelings of entitlement, rulership without restraint, that can be victory in a harsh way. But enlightened, benevolent leadership, leading by example, one would think, benefiting those in their charge, that's a different kind of victory. At least they're thinking about it. Over here we've got the Star. Second major arcana, both on this side. So what they want is the Hierophant. What they got is hope and wishes and guidance. To me, the Star is the highest vibrational spiritual card in the entire tarot, because just think in terms of altitude, symbolically the moon, that would suck. The moon, the sun, the stars, right? They might be burned out, we don't know, right? It takes that long for that light to get to us at the speed of, etc. So this is Pandora. Pandora's box. Oh, Pandora box, blessed be. To really, if you're the athlete, your lower 3 chakra intuition is going to be pretty right on, but very lit, right? Very, very much like, oh yeah, I want to do this. Like, you're probably going to get the tinglies. I feel like with the 3 of Cups here, this one's really into this one. And I think the king is sort of like, yeah, I'm thinking about how to overcome, how to be victorious here, how to do this. But honestly, wanting to take the time to slow it down and appraise the situation. Think about getting a house, a car, a ring, something appraised. You don't need to know what it's made of necessarily. That's analysis. You want to know what it's worth. So maybe looking over their own shoulders, what they want to do, and take this slow, and maybe be a little virginal, Put a dime between your knees, I hear works. I never learned. Let's look at the element of water. It is, after all, a romantic read. Okay, this one's kind of doubling up on the earth signs over here. Another court card, Capricorn. Capricorn, Cardinal Earth, Passoe the Buffalo Woman. This is about highest potential. This is about the slow and steady wins the race up the mountain. For wisdom, with boundaries, ruled by Saturn. Again, if you have any planets in Capricorn, this is about bringing Cardinal Earth, a square, to Cardinal Fire of Aries, the King. So if this is the Knight of Pentacles, this is the King of Pentacles. There is something strong and solid here. If they're going to do this emotionally, they're going to take it slow, and they're going to want to build it. And they want their highest potential. They want the highest potential out of this. Because they have the wisdom to do it. And that makes sense. Where they're like, let's slow this down. I want to really appraise. I'm not getting like it's about whether or not anybody's worthy. It's probably more of a question, am I ready? And that's why, in Part 2, we're going to use that Lover's Oracle to get yourself a simple timeline, past, present, future. That should help clarify. Guess you're just going to have to take it, because this one's got another major arcana card on this side, the Empress on the outer. They want fire has the Hierophant, air has the star. Come on. Demeter, the goddess of the topsoil, the great feeder, mother of Persephone. I mean, this is the wife, the lover, the mother. And again, when it's inside out, outside in, right? It could be looking at the athlete or the athlete looking out here. I think they might be a little head over heels here, feeling a very, very strong connection. I wouldn't say maternal, but I would say it's a romantic read. That's what I love about the romantic reads. The Path of True Love reads, it could be anything in a general read. It could be your mom, could be anything, right? It could be your boss. Maybe it's romantic. This definitely is. And particularly the hope that they have on the outside, that they see on the outside, they see the potential. And if this is them from the outside, remember, it's creative family archetype. You can't get more creative than the Empress. It is all of the queens of the zodiac amalgamated into one. So you have the earth, the air, the fire, and the water queens, and they come together to make the spirit queen of the Empress, Demeter in this deck, very fertile. Also a goddess of abundance. So there's a lot of potential here. And you know what? I bet you anything, maybe not for everybody, but party number 1 senses that. I just feel like party number 2 knows it. All right? Well, at least lower 3 chakras. That's why we flip decks in the extended, so we get to look at the lower 3 chakras here and the heart, third eye, brain. Get to see behind the scenes here, and I want to see what that's like. So, the point of view of the soul, the spirit card. Oh my, I told you, let's start over here. This is easier to take in a way. 2 of Pentacles, the voice of the soul is saying, hey, look, party number 1, keep your balance. Earth, how many freaking... 4 out of 1, 2, 3, 4 out of 5 are Earth cards. But they're contemplating victory mentally, and that can be internal victory, getting over their own stuff. But the point, it's saying, look, just there is a choice here. Obviously, this is the one who has the choice to whether to do this or not. A king would, right? Would make sense. It's good to be the king. Good to be the king. But the bull leapers, it's probably the forerunner to the running of the bulls of Pamplona and bullfights, which I am not into. I like the running of the bulls of Pamplona, though. At least maybe, a little bull karma. They have to, gore them back, Leslie. Leslie Gore, sorry. But, these women would run at these bulls, grab them by the horns, and flip over them. Right, that's an acrobatic feat. I mean, come on. It's kind of harder than parkour, you gotta say. Well, if you don't gotta jump off a building, I suppose. So, good wisdom, right? Really, really good wisdom for the king here. I think we've got a more enlightened king on this side. And remember, it's not about gender, right? Or burger, for that matter. Over here, however, we got the 10 of Cups. It is the true love card. This one's soul saying, you're right, this is ecstasy, this is true love. They want to create this. And they will do what it takes. They will do what they... Come on, 3 major arcana cards, 3 cups and the 10 of Cups. Come on. This one's in love. This one's considering it. But with all of that earth, it's because in their emotions, their element of water, they want something long term. And you know what? The Hierophant down here, they want to do. I feel like this one has the emotional stability to do it. They've built it over time, slow and steady. Been climbing up, they've been walking up that road, walking up that hill with some problems. It is a Capricorn card, but as all of those emotional things have been overcome in victory, perhaps, this is very doable. Oh, I love this read. I love this for you, Aries and cross watchers. Ooh. So we got those on the table. We got 3 more left, 2 of which will be 1 each of the Whispers of Love Oracle by Angelo Hartfield, the voices of the higher selves of all involved. Now, usually when I use this deck, it's the higher selves of all involved. This is one for party number 1 and 1 for party number 2. Cool. Please take a nice deep breath. Still point. Throat chakra. I call upon the higher selves of this Aries collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign, and crosswatcher. Happy, healthy, wealthy, wise, intimate, sexual, satisfying soulmate contract read involving a king archetype and an athlete archetype in this contract. Let's start with the king. What is the whisper of love? Higher selves, fifth dimension and above, eighth chakra and above, for them in this romantic soulmate contract, and for party number 2 with the athlete in this romantic soulmate contract. I mean, I understand how it works to an extent. It's mostly a mystical science. You just kind of got to go with it. But the king, believe it or not, has look at your patterns in relationships. It requires inner strength to recognize that you need to change or modify your behavior. And that is exactly what they're doing. And I think, again, wherever this party number 1 is on that lead to gold scale, with that king archetype, depends, right? Because who starts out gold all the time, right? In any archetype, 100% gold or 100% lead for that matter. So they're overcoming things. They are absolutely doing the work, and they have four out of 5 tarot cards represent the element of earth for the king archetype in party number 1 here, to look at their patterns in relationships. Athlete, party number 2, do something for someone else. Give your attention to someone else. Well, I think that's pretty much a done deal. So you're on the right track here. Now, give your attention to does not mean fucking stalk them. Does not mean push too hard. We know athletes, right? Goals and victory, right? Is there a sense of false invulnerability and entitlement? Keep an eye on that. Well, of course they're going to love it. Why wouldn't they love it? I'm going to paint their house. I'm going to paint my face all over their house, particularly if it's a Leo, right? Kidding. No, I'm not. Be careful with that creativity. But honestly, the amount of love here, really keep in touch with those lower 3 chakras when you're thinking about this. It will tell you. If your solar plexus goes, no. The answer is no. It's probably not the best thing. But do something for someone else. Give your attention to someone else and do something for them. For a creative family archetype, an athlete doing something for a king seems pretty natural, And again, we're not talking about a literal king or a literal athlete, although I guess it could be. Could work out that way somewhere. But there's something really beautiful about this with the amount of major arcana on this side and the amount of wisdom on this side. Last card down. Gee, I wonder which card you'll use. All my patrons just went, the Metcon Healing Mantra deck, because it's genius. It's not divinatory. It is a healing system. Then I'm an eclectic witch. I work whatever works, right? If it works for me, I use it to help people. If it doesn't work for me, I don't. But it might work for somebody else. Ready? The Ascended Masters of Romantic Soulmate Contracts, because there's a whole division of the Akashic Records law firm dedicated to this one, this type of thing. Please take a nice deep breath. I mean, something was fueling Nora Ephron all those years. Still point. And here we go. As I call upon the Ascended Masters of Romantic Soulmate Contract Law, please, 1 card in clarity for this Aries collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign and cross watcher, happy, healthy, wealthy, wise, intimate, sexual, satisfying soulmate contract. Party number 1 with the King. Party number 2 with the athlete, looking at the patterns in relationships and doing something for someone else. What is the perfect healing mantra to help them align the chakras, alchemize the shadow to light, the lead to gold, the pain to peace, to help each other heal, to go from false love to true love, from fear to love, from threat to safety, right? From pain to peace is so important on the path of true love in general, in relationships, but particularly in romantic soulmate contracts. Give us the perfect healing mantra for the Aries and the cross watchers in this timeless romantic soulmate read. Embodying my soul, I have a right to be excited. I'm going to read it from the bookie book. It's the only bookie book in part 1, but in part 2, there's a lot. So you can't see that in this lighting. Embodying my soul, I have a right to be excited. And you do. And you absolutely do. And that might be very why, right? Like when party number one thinks about this, it's dun, 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 Bonanza? What? Where did that sound clip? I didn't even watch Bonanza as a kid. Well, subconsciously everyone else around me was, I guess. So there is an excitement here, which is probably a wise king saying, slow your roll. Slow our roll. We don't need to charge in. Let them come to us. But it feels like in a really wise way, right? While they're looking at their patterns and relationships, embodying my soul, I have a right to be excited. You do. When your soul is embodied, you are grateful to be alive. You are aware of life as a precious opportunity to experience the frequency of your own light through the unique attributes, characteristics, and senses of a person. This is talking about being a soul. Now remember, on this side, the soul is saying Ten of Cups. This side, Two of Pentacles. Embodying that, right? And, you know, it's like Russian dolls, right? It's like the multi-dimensional self. Well, the soul is the immortal part. You guys have probably done this before in another life. So you have a right, both of you, to be excited about this. I lost my place. That's a lot of words. As your soul becomes embodied, you are elated to be part of life's cosmic play, no matter how bad things may seem. This mantra is ideal for developing courage, finding your inner voice, that's interesting, and feeling safe in your body. Well, I'm gonna say, guys, I shouldn't gender an entire population of people watching a video, but my beloveds, I will say that this is worth waiting for, and you have a right to be excited, but how are you going to temper it? Right? How are you going to? The temperance card will probably show up in part 2, but we'll see. But there we go. That is the reading per se. Now, if you'd like to stick around, I'm going to do a bless summation. I'm going to do a blessing and a summation at the same time. Then I will release you temporarily, take a break, maybe make a cup of coffee, and dive into part 2. Please take a nice deep breath. Still point. Here we go. I call upon the collective pantheons of the divine for the Aries collective sun, moon, rising, Venus signs, and cross watchers watching this video and receiving this reading. May they be blessed with all that they need in this happy, healthy, wealthy, wise, intimate, sexual, satisfying soulmate contract in process. That party number 1 can embrace their enlightened, benevolent leadership benefiting those in their charge, because they are taking their time to do this wisely in a place of appraisal, really looking back over their shoulders at the seeds planted before. And if they want to plant them again, and what they have in the element of earth to do that is a certain innocence, a certain virginity, occupying and their health and occupation, occupying themselves in this in a healthy way, and like the Knight of Pentacles, the slowest knight, taking their time, being very grounded on the inside, and probably what are they evaluating, what do they want to evaluate, what they really want, looking at the pattern of their relationships to heal. And on their mind is victory. They're not going into this as an Eeyore. They're going into this maybe a bit more like a poo. Right? They're going into this saying, we're going to do this. We can do this. I've got this. I want this to move forward. Very third chakra. I want to work this out. I want to do it as necessary here, because in their water, in their emotions, there is something solid, stable, cardinal earth worth building, but will take some time to do so. And the voice of their soul telling them to keep your balance, make healthy choices, don't make great big huge decisions, one moment at a time, one step at a time. And may party number 2 embrace their dedication to transcending physical limits, including handicaps, developing their personal willpower and strength of spirit, because their element of fire, they want something healthy, and they want something most likely committed, something that is structured, and something that is stable and very, very healthy. And the element of earth they have to do that is the fun, the joy, the emotional bond that's going on here. And the 3s are a good foundation to build upon. in the tarot. And really what they're thinking about this, they could totally be looking at party number one and just seeing stars, right? Seeing them as a star, or but really their key to that one is those lower three chakras, to really pay attention for for right timing, because they might be a little wanting to do something for them, and to really feel that out. But if their heart is open, it's going to be all right, because in their element of water there is this Empress energy, the wife, the mother, Demeter, the great feeder. I mean, just such unconditional love. That the divine feminine card as the Emperor is the divine masculine card in the tarot, lower three chakras. Again, general read, outside in, inside out, could be both ways. But with the Ten of Cups, the voice of the soul, the final union, bringing together Psyche, which is Greek for butterfly, and the soul is elevated to goddess, so that the two of them can be together, saying that there is ecstasy, there is bliss, there is true love available here. But the course of true love never did run smooth. So may they be blessed, party number one, so that they can look at their patterns in relationships and see how they can be happier, healthier, wealthier, wiser in all different ways, in all different aspects. And party number two, with the athlete archetype, can do something for party number one, giving their attention to someone else, because they are both in the process of embodying their soul in a soulmate contract. What a shock. And they have a right to be excited for that. And may they have the infrastructure that they need, bit by bit, step by step, day by day, breath by breath, to keep moving forward in this ever happier, healthier, wealthier, and wiser romantic soulmate contract for their well-being, for the well-being of all, and with harm to none. As we will it, so let it be done. So let it be. So it is. That had a nice ending. Good. You have something to be excited about. So no matter what it looks like now, it's okay. We'll get there. So if you liked it, hit the thumbs up. It helps other Aries find it. I'm no longer monetized on YouTube because I'm on Patreon. Patreon.com/Drawing the Circle, where for $3 a month you get the extended readings, all of them past, present, future. I've been doing them for years, and there's a lot of them in my back catalog, and certainly the daily live streams. And just go check out the menu if you want the deeper dive, more magic, more miracles, more mysticism, more Mal. Come Patreon on Patreon. But I think most importantly, if you want to book me for a private reading, because I've been doing this kind of stuff for decades. I started reading tarot when I am 12. I am 54 at the time of this recording. Yeah, I know I don't look at things. Witchcraft, what can I tell you? And not having kids, I think, had a lot to do with it. Just cats, things, and companies. Then there's a link in the description box, booking a reading with Mal. And maybe we'll use this spread. Maybe I'll come up with one on the fly. But I do love to serve people in their romantic life, because, you know, the hardest ones, right? Family's family, work is work, friends are friends, lovers can be tricky AF. So wishing you the very best and the very blessed in your happy, healthy, wealthy, wise, intimate, sexual, satisfying soulmate contracts, my beloved Aries. Hang in there, heal, hail, farewell, and blessed, blessed be.